Hey, everybody. So, wee bit of alchemy. I'm Rick Barrett. Welcome. Today, we're going to return to the medial line, three nails, and this time we're going to get it in motion. We're going to use a similar kind of thing that we've been doing with more stationary postures, and this time we're going to really focus on how do we move and really maintain this contact with basically your central equilibrium. And the reason why I really emphasize this, you can think of it as like twofold. One is like the substantial aspect, which is how can we use our bodies, align our bodies in a way where we're using the minimum amount of effort in order to get a really substantial, secure motion that we're able to move in the world really confident in our movements. And the more insubstantial but equally important is Chen, our ability to manifest internal power. And the more we can cultivate central equilibrium in our postures, the more we have access to the big chi, and we can then use it to direct that energy in our lives in multitudes of ways. But the important thing is to be able to confidently know that you have this internal power and that you're building your account every day. With every step you take, you're actually adding to this Jin account that you're amassing, and we do it by having this confident awareness of central equilibrium. So, and when we do that, we access the big chi, or the chi of the heavens and the earth, and we're not limited to the localized energies and muscular efforts of our individual bodies. So to do this, I want to kind of emphasize doing it like you're a decrepit old person, and just really, the more you can get into that frame of mind and say, okay, I'm weak, and I then have to align my body in a way where I can maximize the resources that I do have. And so when we think of that, when we invest in our weakness, we then can access more of the Jin, more of that internal power in order to make things, in order to function at the same level. And then there are other times when we're not going to do that. We're going to feel our power. We're going to express our power. But today, I like to really just kind of focus on doing these movements ultra slow and ultra focused, so that we're really fine tuning that central equilibrium, fine tuning the power, the lines of power, the lines of force in the body, so that we can notice whenever we're violating that. And it's something that I don't think you can ever really say, oh yeah, I got it, I don't have to think about this anymore. It's like central equilibrium is one of those things that I come to every day as a beginner. I like, establish and try to find, where are you hiding today, central equilibrium. And that's it's an approach. We're playing this little game where I'm trying to find how, with the body I have today, can I maximize this conduit that allows me to access the big chi. And as we do this, as we build this account, as I'm saying, is like we are transforming our body mind. As we do that, we actually have to upgrade our wiring to handle more and more energy. which then allows us to dispose of extraneous muscular tension so that we're moving more gracefully, more agilely, more confidently in the world. So to do this, we're going to return to the three nails that we've been talking about. The one in the along the medial line of the foot. That is the inside of the foot along the big toe line. And so where we're talking about is the three nails are at the heel, the ball of the foot, and the big toe. And that with emphasis of the yin aspect, or the ability of the heel, when we focus on that to create a yin effect in our body, a yin, accessing more of the yin energy. And then whenever we move to the ball of the foot, it tends to be more yang. And then when we get to the big toe, we press down with that. That's a very light pressing, very gentle kind of tapping with the big toe. But when we do that, we amplify the yang qi when we do that. So there's this, it's not just a passive opening up to the big qi, which is important, but there's also this conscious involvement, this conscious engagement through our feet and with the earth, so that every step can become a prayer where you're having this communication with something much bigger and much more vast than anything that we can wrap our brains around. And so we're tapping into that and kind of resonating with this huge reservoir, virtually infinite reservoir of energy, and being able to siphon off as much as we can tolerate. And do this every time. And so then if we have time, we'll then incorporate that into a Taiji form. But first I want to just really take some time and explore the feeling of this. So your attention is not on the thinking part of it, although you are using your mind to actually contact these points. The important thing is you feel it. You feel that contact, and you also feel the lines of force through your body. You feel that way that your body lines up whenever your knee lines up with your foot just right, and then you relax your quad, then you're able to then activate these lines of force and be able to learn to count on them and be able to grab them whenever you like. Okay, let's begin by establishing our three pillars. And let's do that by first going into the first nail, the one in the heel, along the medial line of the foot. So feel that your three nails. We're going to start with the heel nail. And what this does is it establishes the yin energy. You just settle into that. Knees are unlocked. We don't want to go down too deep on this. Remember, we're kind of doing this like a decrepit old person. And the idea here is that if we are not bullying our way through it, we have to really get economical and efficient with our structure to allow more energy to pass through. So we're relying more on our chin than in our muscularity. So starting with the weight in the heels, it's actually the weight is spread throughout the whole foot, but where the bullseye is on the heels. And so you're settling that. You feel yourself relaxing down into your legs, letting go any extraneous muscular tension. Ask yourself, what can I let go of and still hold this posture? Now reach up with the crown of your head and tuck in your chin. And open the jade pillow gate at the base of your skull. So in doing this, we are allowing the Jing Shen, the spirit of vitality, to rise and feed into your brain, particularly the spirit valley, the Mi-1 gong at the center of your brain. Relax and feel into that. Reach up at the crown of the head, and then you're accessing the yang qi of the heavens. So through our feet, we're getting the yin qi of the earth to the top of the head. We're feeling the yang qi of the heavens. So in doing this, we're accessing the big qi. We're not limited to our own personal energy. We're plugged in to something much bigger. Reach a little bit with your elbows and open your shoulder joints. Point and reach with your index fingers and feel your energetic coherence. They're very sung qua, so you want to release any tension in the hip area. So and spiral down to the left, release down, spiral down to the right. So you're letting go. So everything is getting very sung except for the crown of your head, which is reaching upward. But that's even that's very soft. You're not pushing it upward, you're just kind of gently reaching. Think of it as like a vine reaching up toward the sun, just being attracted by the yang qi of the heavens. All right, so now we're going to feel into the second nail, the one in the ball of the foot. So we're still on the big toe line now, in 3 nails. We're going to go in the ball of the foot. Weight still spread throughout the whole foot, but the bullseye is on the ball. And just notice the effect that has on your energy. It creates more of a yang energy. Grandmaster Chen, he likes to think of this one as the power source. He thinks of the heel, the yin terminal in the heel, the yin point in the heel, as the anchor. But we're now in the power source, and going between the yin of the heel and the yang of the ball, he describes it as plugging into an electric circuit. So that feeling of the energy being generated between the two. It's like plugging into an electric circuit, and you're animating the qi in your whole body. What's happening too is you're opening up the bubbling well at the center of your foot, the kidney 1 point, and this is the point where you are accessing the energy of the earth, and it's actually a 2-way valve. You're allowing the yin qi of the earth to rise through the bubbling well, but you're also allowing the yang qi from the heavens and any used qi in your body to go down, and it passes through the bubbling well and into the earth. You're grounding your energy with that too. So feel that, the bullseye there on the ball of your foot, on both feet. And we're just accenting the yang energy here. This is the expansive, active quality of the energy. It's the one that gets you all tingly. Now, press down lightly with your big toe. You're still feeling the ball of the foot, but you're pressing down lightly with your big toe, like you're pressing down a button or something with your big toe, both feet. And this one is Master Chen calls this the the brain. He calls your big toe your second brain, but if you press down that, it links up to your Niwan Gong. That is we recognize it from the upper dantian, the third eye, but that's the surface of that. It's actually at the center of the brain where your pituitary gland, your pineal gland, and your hypothalamus meet. And the Taoists call that the spiritual center, the Niwan Gong. Now, this is also in reflexology, at the center of your big toe, on the pad of the big toe, the point there, the reflex point is for your pineal and pituitary glands. So just pressing down with that, as you let go of other feelings, you can feel an immediate reaction in your head. You know, I feel my upper dantian. So we have these 3 points. We can think of it as the heel, number 1 nail as being the yin, but also the body. The number 2 point, the ball of the foot, number 2 nail is the ball of the foot. You can think of that as the mind. And then you press down and the big toe, and you can think of that as spirit. You're activating, you're incorporating those 3, you're integrating body, mind, and spirit just by playing with your 3 nails. So now sink into your heels and relax and sink down and just feel the energy just cascading down your body, through your feet and into the earth. This is that anchor, that yin point where we're releasing. We're going to the ball of your feet, the balls of your feet, your second nail, reach with your wrists, and press down with the big toe, and reach with the fingers. Open your back between your shoulder blades. And then sink into your heels. Yin, reach down with your elbows, down with your wrists, down with the fingers. With the balls of your feet, reach with the wrists. You know, that energy, that yang qi animating, press down with the toe, reach with the fingers, open your back, reach with the elbows, and sink into the heels. Yin. One more, feel the balls of your feet, reach with your wrists, press down with the toes, and coordinate that, reaching with the fingers. Particularly feel your index fingers. Reach with the crown of your head. You'll feel that yang expansion moving to an even more insubstantial level. And then sink into your heels, elbows, wrists, and relax. And just feel into the yin. Allow that all to disappear, to dissipate that energy. If you have a way of throwing it away, as well as a way of generating it very quickly, then there's no need to hang on to the energy. You're able to do both. You're able to generate it in a moment, throw it away in a moment. Then you are more in control of your energy. Energy is not just something that happens to you, it's something that you can guide. You can regulate your chi, which is really important for any of the Taiji or Qigong stuff. You can use the 3 nails strictly as a mechanical structural support. And it works like gangbusters just for that. In fact, that's the way I taught it for a long time, just as a way of feeling your centering along your medial line, and that's being able to have that solid foundation. But we're taking it to a whole new level here by really focusing on the energy, taking some time to focus on the energy. So now we're going to just practice moving with this. And you want to feel the, turn my back to you so you can follow along here. I'm going to turn out on my right foot and then feel the heel of my right foot. And then push my knee out, set my knee, and then feel the ball of my right foot. And then spiral down to the right, press down with the big toe. So now I'm sinking down into my right leg. Notice that what I'm not doing is pushing my butt out to the side. There's a spiraling down rather than a lateral motion of my hip. As I spiral down here, I'm going to point with my index fingers to really feel that energetic coherence throughout my whole body. Pick up my left heel. And as I do that, I'm going to shift back into my heel of my right foot. So I'm tuning that. So first I establish the 3 nails along the right foot. Now I'm going back into the heel of the foot, the first nail, because I want to use my right heel as an anchor. I'm establishing that. So that allows me to hold my position on one leg with a minimum of effort. And then I step forward with my left heel. I make contact with that left heel. Notice that all my weight is still in my right leg. I've just placed my left foot is just holding a position. But I'm mentally, intentionally contacting the first nail of my left foot, my left, that heel point. And then now I'm going to push my right knee forward so that I'm starting to load up that left foot now. And in doing so, I'm going to spiral down to the right. Now I'm going to feel the ball of my left foot. And I'm going to press down with the big toe and turn. So now I'm primarily about 70% in my right foot. And at this point, I want to be primarily in my heel. Okay, because I'm going to be spiraling down to my left. Okay, as I do this, I'm going to load up that left quad. So I'm going to spiral down to the left as I pick up my right heel. I'm setting my right knee, I'm spiraling down, so I'm loading up that left leg. And I'm very gradually letting go of any support my right leg has. It's kind of loose and floppy right now. Because now I'm going to point again with those fingers. I'm going to pick up that right foot and step forward and place the heel down. And then the foot down. And feel the whole foot there. My weight is still in my left leg, primarily. It's still my substantial leg. Now feel that right heel, feel that anchor point there. And the right heel. Feel that yin contact. This is what establishes our form. And then we push the knee forward and make contact with the ball of the right foot. And I start to load that up, and then I press down with the big toe. So making that full contact there. Then back to the heel, and I'm going to then spiral down to the right, pick up my left heel, really load up that right leg. Get nice and relaxed into that. So you can step forward, and this time just step up parallel to the right foot. So now you're going to feel that both heels, feel the yin points in both heels. And relax and settle into that. Good. Okay, so now we're going to do it. We're going to take that same idea and we're going to do an opening for Yang style Taiji form. There are variations on this, but this is the one that I like to put in with the various Yang forms that I do, and I consider it the most important move in the form because it establishes the ability to step be able to step freely with an empty step and be very confident in the support of my substantial leg. So what it does is it's the first move of the form. We're moving from the Wu Ji, where we're no form, and into form, where we the Taiji, and then we extend from there. But what it's doing is that it establishes the way we're going to be able to move throughout the form, how we're going to be able to trust our substantial foot. So let's begin with the feet heels together and the toes apart.
Take most step forward to try to take it.
Okay. So we've done this before, but I really want to emphasize this time the 3 nails. So we're using something which is relatively familiar to people who are watching this, but this time we really want to focus on the energy part of the 3 nails. Okay, here we go. So I'm going to go and feel the going to sink into the heels of both feet. Your weight is spread throughout the foot, but it's primarily the heels are the bullseye, that first nail. This is the Wu Chi part. This is where you're in that undifferentiated nothingness part of the form. We're entering the Taiji form from nowhere, and we're going to go somewhere with it. So we begin there, and we're going to feel the heels of both feet. Feel the heel of the right foot. And just sink into that. So what I want you to really feel is the energy there, that yin energy that comes from hitting that anchor point and trusting that anchor point. Now feel the ball of the right foot. So now we're starting to get more energized in the right leg. We're emptying out the left leg, and we're starting to get more substantial in the right leg. We press down with the big toe, and we're spiraling down to the left now. We're loading up the right leg, the right quad, by emptying out the left leg. So it's not fully empty yet. Doesn't have to be. So we're gradually disconnecting from the left leg, making it less substantial. So now we're going to go back to the heel of the right foot and turn, spiraling down to the right. So we're loading up that right quad and we're feeling the weight on the inside of the foot, on the medial line. And as we're doing this, notice that your left foot is getting even less substantiality. It's just kind of touching the ground because we're really trusting that right foot. Feel the ball of the right foot. Press down with the big toe. Point and reach with your index fingers. Feel your three nails, your three pillars as you're doing it. You're loading up. So we've got more energy in the system. We've got more yang qi powering this because we are going to make a big jump over here. We're going to step all the way out there with the left foot, and we want to really feel into that. Now sink back into the heel of the right foot. Feel that anchor, that yin support. Pick up the left heel as you sink down into that right leg. And then step out with your left foot, about a hip width or a shoulder width. Feel the heel of that left foot. But you're still substantial in the right leg. You're just beginning, you're just planting the seeds of substantiality in the left foot. We're doing it by entering in through the yin point there in the heel. Now slowly, you're going to sink into that heel first. Set the left knee and feel the ball of the left foot. So as we load up that, we're disengaging from the right leg. We're making the right leg less substantial. We haven't emptied it out completely. It's still about half of our weight there, but the left leg is starting to drive the system. It's the one that is powering up. Feel that ball of the right foot. So we're creating this yang qi, which is going to animate the next thing, which is press down with the left big toe and turn and pivot on your right heel. So now you're in the heel points, the heel nails of both feet. And just feel into that, the support here that comes with that. Feel the yin energy. So it's not just a getting rid of energy of the yang. You're filling up with the supportive, nurturing, cool energy of the earth. Feel that through your whole body. Now, step in with your left foot and go back to heels together, toes apart. Feel the weight in both heels. Now we're going to go the other way. We're going to step with the right foot. Feel the heel point of the left foot. Feel that anchor. Step the left knee, spiral down to the right. So you're loading up that left quad. You still have 20-30% in your right leg, probably about 30% in your right leg, 70% in your left. And now you feel the ball of the left foot and turn. Press down with the big toe and turn to the left. So now you're loading up the left leg. It's got about 90% of your weight. It is mostly the substantial leg. Your right leg is much less substantial. It's just kind of a placeholder at this point. Sink into the heel of the left foot. Spiral down a little more to the right. So we're loading up that. We're anchoring in that heel point of the left foot. Pick up the right heel. When you load up that left leg, you're really settling into that left leg. It's your primary support now. Feel through the heel point. Now feel the ball, the big toe. Step out with the right foot. I'll feel the heel of the right foot. Set the right knee. And now we're really making contact with that left leg. It's starting to the right leg. The right leg is starting to become the substantial one. The left one is still doing most of the work, but we're beginning to enter we're planting the seed here in the right foot. We feel the heel of the right foot, feel the ball, and spiral down to the left as we start to load up that right foot. Now press the toe of the right foot and turn back to center. Feel the heels, both sink into both heels. And just feel into that, feel the substantiality of that posture. It's relaxed, very sung, but it's very substantial. Go to the balls of both feet. And feel that. Feel the yang qi that comes with that. Feel yourself getting prepared. It's like you're on a diving board and you're going to dive in. You want to now press down with the big toes. You want this really starts to animate things, and it cranks up the energy. And then sink into your heels. And let that all go. Now spiral down to the left. Step in with your right foot. We have both heels. With the balls of both feet. Big toes come up. And then sink into both heels and disappear that energy. Okay, so let's take that and throw it into the Taiji form. Throw it into the Yang Cheng Fu's 13 original postures and go through that whole thing with the feeling into the 3 nails. I'll talk you through it. And we're not going to spend as much time lingering on the different points, but I want to just kind of get the idea of how that coordinates. The basic idea here is that we're now coordinating the points on the feet with the yin and yang motions of the body. And so I'll call out some of those as well. Say like, okay, all right, this is a yang move. So we're in the balls of the feet and reach with the fingers. That's that's very yang. That's in the toes. And then we sink into the heels and come down, and that's yin. And so that's the basic idea of that. And so I'll call those out as I go along here. Okay, so let's begin. And we're going to do the same thing we just did, not quite as slowly. Begin. Weight in both heels. You want to feel those. Feel the yin of the heel nail. Feel the right heel spiral down to the left. Turn to the right. And the ball of the right foot. Big toe. Feel the yang as we step out. Left heel, yin. Left knee, set the left knee, spiral down to the right. With the ball of the left foot, yang, and big toe. Make it to both heels. Feel the yin. Balls of both feet. Feel the yang, wrists. Press down the big toes, yang. Reach with the fingers. Take it to the heels. Reach down with the elbows, yin. Down with the wrists. Down with the fingers. With the balls of the feet, press down with the big toes. And reach down with the fingers and feel the yang there. And then throw that away. Sink into the left heel, spiral down to the right. Yin. And then turn to the left. Feel the ball of the left foot. Big toe, yang. Right heel, yin. Spiral down to the left. Ball, yang. Big toe, yang. Left heel, yin. Spiral down to the right. Ball, yang. Big toe. Feel the yang. Expansion. Very full. Right heel, yin. Right ball. Right big toe, yang. Right heel. Bow down to the right. Step out with the left foot. Left heel, yin. All right. Ball. Toe, yang. Step in. Right heel, yin. Right ball, yang. Toe. Right heel, yin. Step, left heel, yin. Ball. Toe, yang. Right heel, yin. Left heel, yin. Now it's right heel. Yin. Right ball, yang. Toe. Yin. Or yang, sorry. Right heel, yin. Step. Left heel, yin. Left ball. Left toe, yang. Right heel, yin. Right ball, yang. Right toe. Right heel. Right ball. Right big toe. Left heel. Right heel. Right ball. Right toe. Right heel. I'm sorry, left heel. Left ball. Left toe. Left heel. Right heel. Right ball. Right toe. Left heel, yin. Right heel, yin. Right ball, yang. I'm sorry, left ball, yang. Left toe. Pivot on the right heel. Right heel, yin. right ball, pivot, right toe, both heels, sink. Left heel, left ball, left toe. Right heel, yin. Right ball, right toe. Left heel, yin. Right heel, yin. Right ball, right toe. Yang. Pivot on your left heel. Left yin. Left ball. Left toe. Right heel. Right ball. Right toe. Left heel. Pivot. Right heel. Left heel. Left ball. Left toe. Yang. Right heel, yin. Left heel, yin. Right heel, yin. Ball, toe, yang. Right heel, yin. Left heel, yin. Left ball, left toe, yang. Left heel, yin. Right heel, yin. Right ball, yang. Right toe. Left yin. Right yin. Right ball, yang. Toe. Left yin. Left ball, yang. Right heel, yin. Both heels, yin. Both balls, both big toes. Both heels, yin. Pause a moment, just feel into that posture. Feel it, feel the energy circulating throughout your whole body. Feel all three nails in both feet. Each contributing as needed. To the right heel. Step in. Both heels. Both balls. Both toes. Now, both heels, yin, and throw it all away. Throw away the energy. We'll dissolve into the emptiness. Right. Karen.
Well, what became very evident to me is when I could always get into the the yin and the heel. When I had that consciousness of going back and forth, it made the whole thing effortless. Because for myself, I just have a tendency to want to be more on the ball of my foot. It takes so much for me to get the yin. And with the slow pace tonight, I was able to find it and hold on to it.
Was that helpful? Valerie.
I was able to, this time more than any other time, follow being in the yin, then being in the ball, or, the heel, the ball, the toe. It was, I don't want to say making more sense, because it's not like it wasn't making sense before, but I was able, like Sharon was talking about, the consciousness was there. So I was able to dial into each of the changes more fully. And I think I experienced more of the difference between the ball and the heel. Yeah, yin. That's very much yin. But I've had a little bit of difficulty really dialing into, oh yeah, the big toe is very, that's much more yang. Well, I could feel that tonight. I mean, it's not like I couldn't feel it before, but it was much more apparent to me. I could experience it more. So cool. And my husband needs to change his shirt because he's just sweating so much.
Scott.
Yeah, my shirt is actually wet. Yeah, I've been practicing this, I mean, I have to do it slowly and everything else because I'm rehabbing, but I've gotten this, I've kind of gotten this before, so it's not new, but doing it slow really cranked up the juice. And I realized that doing it really slow like that is really good rehab for my legs, for my knees and my legs. So I gotta try and do it really slow for a while and try and get my balance back.
Terrific.
Um,
Sharon.
can give a little more clarity on what the yin meant to me. One of the things I occasionally do is I lay down and put my legs up against a wall. And when I do that, it feels like I just have water. I can feel the water running down. Well, I had that same sensation when I was standing up and on my heels.
Nice. That's good. That's terrific. Good.
Yeah.
Thanks for that. Beautiful. Cool. Anybody else? Jonathan.
I have a good question about the yin and the yang. When we do the heel, and I always think of yin as receptive in some way, as if I'm like, gee, here's my chance to take in earth energy, whatever that actually means, chi. And then when the ball of the foot, it's like giving it back. But I don't know if that's true at all. But that's one way I look at the yin and the yang, of kind of receiving and taking in and then giving out. What's your thought?
Yeah, if that works for you. My thing is that through the bubbling well, it's both an intake and an exit valve. So it's doing both. And by sinking the heel, you're activating the more of the exit, more of the exhaust valve, and whenever you're in the ball of your foot, there's more of that. But even then, it's like where is it? It's amplifying. The ball of your foot amplifies the chi in the body. It's that, as Master Chen was saying, it's like that the interrelationship between the heel and the ball, creates this dynamo. It creates this thing. So I don't fine tune it too much in terms of where the energy is going. It feels more yang to me in the ball of the foot, more animated, more full in the ball of the foot. More yin is letting go.
What about? I mean, that makes sense. I mean, and that's something to really play with internally inside my foot. But what about the relationship my foot has with the ground? Is there a receiving giving relationship, or because what you just said is very subtle? It can be both. Okay.
It can be both. It depends on what it depends on is what do you want? What's your intention whenever you're doing it? Because you are running the show with this. The energy is following your commands. Whenever. So that's that's what we're going for with this, is like learning to start, change, and stop your chi.
Yeah, I mean, it's like up on Bell Rock or something. I can feel my relationship with the ground that I'm standing on. Otherwise, it's a fairly neutral thing. So it's like maybe it's my imagination or what you're saying. I can intend it or something, but it's like Bell Rock has an intention when I'm standing on it.
Sure.
So I'm just. I mean, what you're saying is very interesting about how much dynamic stuff there is to pay attention to just inside the foot itself and all the energy there without even thinking about the relationship to the ground. But I don't know. All right, a lot to play with.
Yeah, well, I'm still talking about relationship to the ground, because when you're centered over your heel, that's still your relationship to the ground. It's like what part of your body is the substantial point there, and
right, but I get that, but I mean, it's still about receiving or giving into the. It always just feels the ball of the foot and the toe is a giving into the earth. That's actually clearer to me than the heel receiving, but it just seems like there needs to be some contrast. If I'm giving out, I need to be taking in.
okay,
The same thing can happen with pointing fingers, right? I can feel like I'm taking in energy in my left hand and putting out energy in my right hand, right? I mean, it's the same kind of thing.
But that's something you're doing with it, which is
Right.
exactly what we're doing with this stuff, with this qigong. It's like it's what do I want the energy to do? What tricks do I want the energy to do?
Right. So I just didn't know whether if tricks of receiving, giving out are in play in relation to the earth with what we're doing here, because this is really exciting exploration tools we're working with now.
Sure. And if that's the conversation you want to have, with my blessing, go for it.
With you tomorrow. Okay.
Richard.
Now that we can you can us for a while.
It reminds me that there's yin and yang constantly in everything.
Yes.
So what you're talking, it seems to me what you're talking about is it's what you're calling on at any point in time.
Precisely.
So it can always be anything.
Right.
Some things lend themselves more
Exactly.
to yin. Some things lend themselves more to yang. But there, as you said, there is a yin and yang in everything. So it's like, what game am I playing with this right now? And
exactly.
how do I want to do this? Cool. Lynn.
Yeah, that's really helpful for me thinking about it, because as I was like when I was stepping out and we'd step, more into the whole foot, and then you're like, oh, be yin in the heels, and then move forward, yang into the, I was like, well, why? I just had my whole foot. Why am I going back to my right? I was overthinking it. But it's really helpful to have that point that it's like what you decide to do with it, what you're searching for, what you're calling up, right? So
Precisely.
Yeah.
Which is huge for everything in the form, because then it's not just me following along these patterns, but it's like, what do I want to do? What energy do I want to create in this moment?
Yeah, and I think that's really super key, because otherwise we do get into this, oh, well, heel is this, ball is this, toe is, and then you're not interacting with the earth and the chi in the same dynamic way, so
Right.
yeah.
Perfect.
I think we it's a human need. Binaryism is a human need, and we want it to be either or. But we have to learn that it's not always either or, it's what you want it to be.
Well, oftentimes it's both and.
Both, yes. Oftentimes it's both and.
So, it's good to think of some things as binary choices, but more often than not, it's in a both and kind of situation. It's like how much of this, how much of that.
Right.
Beautiful. Cool. Okay. Thank you all so much. It's been a lot of fun. So
Thank you.
Thanks,
Thank you,
Maria.
Priya.
Thank you,
Happy
Maria.
birthday,
thank you,
Richard.
Maria.
Happy birthday.
Heal well, Lynn. Heal well.